Thank you for purchasing the Pocket Pal single-sided practice tree. My name is Allison Smith, and I'd like to walk you through some of the features the Pocket Pal has to offer. So let's get started. To begin, let's turn on the Pocket Pal. To do that, you must press the Escape On/Off key. Portatree will be displayed, followed by PRAC, which stands for Practice. You're now in the main menu of the Pocket Pal. By pressing the down arrow key, I can change to a new menu option. The second option is PREF, which stands for Preferences. In the Preference menu, you can turn on and off the backlight, and you can also change the display contrast. To enter the Preference menu, you can hit the Stage Enter key. The first option is BLIT, which stands for Backlight. By pressing the down arrow key, I can see the second menu option, which is CONT, or Contrast, for Display Contrast. If you want to change either the display contrast or the backlight, when that item is on the screen, you hit the Stage Enter key. You can then use the up and down arrow keys to make your change, and the Stage Enter key to save the change. If you do not want to make a change and are in that menu, just hit the Escape On/Off key. I'm not going to change anything right now, so I'm just going to hit the Escape On/Off key to go back to the main menu. I'm then going to hit the up arrow key to return to Practice. To enter Practice mode, I just hit the Stage Enter key. SUP, or Stage Up, will be displayed on the screen, and the pre-stage light will be on to signal that it's ready for me to make a run. Now from the factory, the Pocket Pal is programmed to have a 500 full tray. No delay box, no bump down. If this is how you want to practice, you're ready to go. You can press and hold down the Stage Enter key, the tree will count down, you can release, and it'll clock your reaction time. If this is not how you're running in your race car, then you have to make some changes. To do that, we have to go into the Practice Setup menu. To do that, you press the Mode key. The first option is STAT, which stands for Statistics. The Statistics menu lets you see how many red lights you've had, how many green lights, how many times you beat the computer, and I'll explain what that means a little bit later, and what your average reaction time is. It scrolls through all these statistics, but if any time you don't want to see them, you can hit the Escape key to exit back to the Practice Setup menu, which is the menu we're in right now. To see the next option, you press the down arrow key. It's TTYP, which stands for Tree Type. To enter the Tree Type menu, you can press the Stage Enter key. Right now it's set to FULL, or a full tree, also known as a sportsman tree. By pressing the down arrow key, you can see the next option is Pro, PRO. That sets to all the lights coming on together, or the Pro tree. By pressing the down arrow key again, the next option is BLOC, or a blocker tree. This is a sportsman tree, but the first two bulbs, the first and second amber, are blocked out, so you'd only see the third bulb come on. To change the tree type, when the option you want is on the screen, you press the Stage Enter key. If you don't want to make any changes, then press the Escape On/Off key. That will return you to the Setup menu. I'm going to change to Pro Tree. So I'm going to have Pro Tree on the display. I'm going to hit the Enter key, and it returned us to the Practice Setup menu once the change was made. Now I'm going to press the down arrow key. The next option is TSPD, or Tree Speed. To enter this menu option, you press the Stage Enter key. Right now it's set to a 500 tree. Since I changed to Pro Tree, I'm also going to change the tree speed to 400. By pressing the down arrow key, we're now at 400. There are only two tree speeds to choose from, 500, 400. Since I want 400, I'm going to hit the Stage Enter key, and it'll return me to the Practice Setup menu. I'm going to hit the down arrow key to see the next option. The next option is ROLL, which stands for rollout. I'm going to hit the stage enter key to enter. Right now, the factory default is a 320 rollout. That's pretty common for cars leaving off a Sportsman tree or off a full tree. For cars leaving off a Pro tree, you will usually have a slightly quicker rollout. If you have any questions on your rollout, you can always give us a call. We also have a tech article on our website, www.portatree.com, which gives additional information about rollout. So I want to change this rollout. To do that, I can use the up or down arrow keys. I'm just going to hold it down, and as you can see, it starts to scroll through numbers. It starts to pick up the pace after about 10 to 20 numbers go by. So I'm going to just change it to a 240, slightly faster. Once I'm happy, I hit the stage enter key. If I didn't want to change the rollout, I can hit the escape on-off key, and that will go right back to the 320 like it was before. I could also hit the reset key, and what that does is it returns it to the factory default setting. So in this case, again, if I hit the reset key, it would return it to 320 or 320 rollout. But I don't want to go back, I want to keep this, so I'm going to hit the enter key, and it returns me to the practice setup menu. I'm going to hit the down arrow key again. Our next menu option is DB, or delay box. I'm going to hit the stage enter key. Again, it's the same commands as in rollout. Enter saves it, escape doesn't save your changes, and reset returns you to the factory default. So I'm going to leave this at 0. Next option in the practice setup menu, hitting the down arrow key from DB, is BPDN, which stands for bump down. The factory default is 0, but you can go up to a 0.02 bump down. That's the max, and then it scrolls back to 0. So, just an example of using the escape key. Say I accidentally put in 005, but I didn't want to change my bump down. I can just hit the escape key. It returns to the menu. If I go back into bump down, it didn't save. I'm now going to hit the down arrow key. The next option is PCRT, and this stands for computer reaction time, or the reaction time of the Pocket Pal. Since this is a single user practice tree, you're not competing against anyone. So we give you the option to compete against the Pocket Pal. What that means is the Pocket Pal has a reaction time that it will always cut. I'm going to hit stage enter to show. The Pocket Pal's reaction time is set to an 030 light, which means that if you cut better than an 030 light, you have beaten the Pocket Pal. If you cut worse than an 030 light, then the Pocket Pal has just beaten you. When you win, at the end of a run, the pre-stage and stage lights will flash on and off to let you know that you have beaten the Pocket Pal's reaction time. If these lights don't flash, then the Pocket Pal has won. You can set it lower or higher, depending on what a good time to beat is. A lot of the professional funny car and top fuel drivers set it to 080 because an 080 light is good for them. Whereas if you're in Super Comp or Super Gas or Super Street, you might want to set it to like an 010 or an 015. The default is an 030. So I'm going to hit stage enter just to keep that in, and hit the down arrow key to the next option. The next option is STON, which stands for stage on time. What this time is, and this is standard on most drag strips, it's the time for the computer to recognize that someone is staged. So that's the amount of time that you'd have to hold down your stage key or be in the stage beam, our virtual stage beam. So it's the amount of time you have to be in the stage beam before the timer says, okay, someone is staged. On most drag strips, this is 0.9 seconds, and that's what the default is in the Pocket Pal. You can always change this. We give you the option to change it. I recommend leaving it unless you know your drag strip is using a different time. I'm going to hit escape to get out of this menu. Pressing the down arrow key again. The next option is ST2S, stage to start. This is the amount of time between when the timer has recognized that you're staged until the tree starts. Again, this is set to the default time for most drag strips, which is 0.7 seconds. Now, I just want to warn you, there's also a random time in here. So it's 0.7 plus a random time. And the reason they do this is so that people can't cheat. So, yes, it's 0.7 seconds, but it might be slightly longer. Or it'll always be slightly longer, but the amount longer that it is random. And the Pocket Pal simulates that randomness as well. So it's just like at the track. Again, I don't want to change this number because this is how it would be at the racetrack, so I'm just going to hit the escape key. If you accidentally change this, you can always hit reset to go back to the factory default. I'm going to press the down arrow key again. The next option is RSET, which stands for reset. You can hit the stage enter key. Your choices are on or off. On sets it to automatic reset, which means after you make a run, the tree will automatically reset, allowing you to make another run. And off, that's manual reset, which means that the tree won't reset itself after you run. Your time will remain on the display, everything will remain as it was. If you have manual reset on, you will need to hit the reset key after every run in order to reset the tree. I'm going to leave it on automatic reset. I'm going to hit the down arrow key again. If at any time your Pocket Pal is not doing what you want and you're confused as to what the state is, you always have the option of DFLT, or defaults. What this does is it'll return every setting back to the factory defaults. I'm definitely not pressing it because right now we have it set up for our Pro tree, but if at any time you want to return it to the factory defaults and start from scratch, just go down to this menu item, hit the stage enter key, and you'll be back to defaults. So, if I scroll down again, we're back to the beginning of the practice setup menu. I'm going to hit the escape key to go back to practice mode. You can hit the escape key at any time when you're in the practice setup menu, and it'll bring you back to practice mode. So now that I've made all my changes, I'm ready to make a run. To do that, as I said before, you press and hold down the stage enter key. The stage light will come on. And as you can see, it was Pro Tree, just as I changed it. My light came up on the screen, and then it automatically resets. Just one more example. Press and hold the stage enter key so the stage light comes on. Cut my reaction time. Got a green light, and because my time was better than that computer time we set of an 0:30, my win light came on. For those interested in the shortcut keys, stay tuned. I'll go through a few of them now. The most useful shortcut key, if you're a delay box user, are the up and down arrow keys. Instead of having to go back to the practice setup menu every time you want to change your delay box, all you have to do is press the up and down arrow keys. You see the number will display on the screen? That's your delay box setting. You can just, so say I want to set it to like an 008. Put it on an 008, stop hitting the keys, and it'll save that for you. And you can see if I go back in, it's still set the way I had it. So I obviously don't need a delay box with my 020 light, so I'm going to leave that delay box to 0. The other useful shortcut key is to turn on and off the backlight. To do that, you have to press the reset and up key or reset and down key. So just to show you, reset up turns on the backlight, reset down turns off the backlight. Now if any time you want to exit practice mode, you can hit the escape key, and that will bring you back to the main menu. Thank you for watching our instruction video on the Pocket Pal. If you have any additional questions, please give us a call at 508-278-2199 extension 508, or send us an email at tech@portatree.com. I hope this video has been helpful, and I look forward to seeing you at the races.